What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about what you do once you actually are making good first serves and still finding a way to lose the games. We're going to be talking about patterns, we're going to be talking about tactics, we're going to be talking about technique, and let's get right into it. Now, before we get into this video, I want to address a couple things that were in the comments as well as make some announcements. So one of the comments that came up in the last video where we were taking the ball on the rise was somebody was complaining about the camera and audio quality, which is a completely fair thing to say. I noticed a lot of the issues we had in that last video. I have since upgraded the microphones. I want you guys to let me know how the audio compares now to what you guys saw in videos before. And we are now researching into a couple of cameras to change out the one that we are currently using. On the other half of the announcements, the podcast is coming back. If you want to be featured in the podcast or have any of the suggestions that you guys would like to add to it, I want you to go and follow the Iron Will Instagram, and I am taking all the DMs and putting them into a list of things that people have wanted me to cover. And what I'm also going to do is announce what the dates are going to be for the live podcast, because I'm going to do that and stream it on Instagram Live, and then I'll upload it to YouTube a couple of days later. So if you want to be first in line, or if you want to get involved, follow the Iron Will Instagram at Iron Will Tennis. And now we can get into this technical video. One of the most important things to know when you're actually talking about making mistakes on the shot after your serve is most of us make one big mistake right from the beginning, and that's failure to plan. When you're serving, you have the unique advantage of having a shot that has no outside factors, aside from maybe the wind or the sun. But your opponent has no control on what you decide to do with your serve. And you can use that to your advantage by planning what you're going to do after your serve if you're successful. Way too many people that I've trained, way too many people that I've seen will just put their serve in the box and react to what comes back to them. At that point, you're reacting as much as your opponent is. And even in some cases, you're reacting more so because you don't even know what your ball's going to do. And then you react to what they reacted to. So you're ending up behind the 8-ball on a shot that you had full control of. So my first piece of advice before we even get into anything is be specific on the outcome that you're aiming for. If you want to serve out wide, if you want to serve down the tee, if you want to hit a kick serve, make sure you're using that plan. And that also allows you to react when you're not successful. For example, let's say I want to hit a serve out wide and I'm planning on hitting a slice and hopefully I get it out past the doubles line, but the person gets on the stretch. My plan is then to hit the shot after that. I can execute that plan, or I can notice that my plan failed because my serve was a little short or a little shallow, and I'm able to react faster. But when I'm just watching to see what my ball is going to do, it causes a much bigger problem. So tip number one, don't give up your intention. Now let's get into the technical part. Technical tip number one when it comes to serving. The big mistake that people make is they forget that this is the highest and lowest change that you're ever going to make when you play. When you serve, regardless of how tall you are, you're going to be striking the ball anywhere from 8 to maybe 9 or 10 feet off the ground, all things considered. And then the ball comes back to you and it can land literally at your ankles. So you're going from stretching your contact point all the way up to here to then potentially having to bring your racket all the way down to the ground. Once you factor that in, it makes sense why a lot of people make mistakes, because they'll hit a serve, they'll watch their serve, now they're at this height, and then the ball comes down. You got to segue yourself down lower. And here's how we do it. We add in the 4-step pattern after we serve. So every time you serve, you want to get into the habit of recovering. So even during your practice, you should be doing this. You want to hit that serve and land 2 steps in, just letting your momentum carry. So you would hit a serve, and you land on, for me, I'm right-handed, so I would land on my left foot, and then I use my right foot to brace myself. After that, I would take 1 step further back, and then I'd split. That's 4 steps total. But the trick is every one of those steps should also lower you. So you go from 1, 2, 3, and then I'm low enough as the ball gets to me. That's the mistake that a lot of people make. Even if they recover, they'll go, and they'll stay up here. And then they have to remember to go down for the ball. Get that transition from top to bottom going seamlessly by just lowering yourself every time the ball comes to you. I posted a short of this on Instagram a long time ago, but in this video, we're really getting into it. The big thing I want you guys to do is just get yourself going up and then coming back down, and you're ready to make that shot. To help me with the demonstration of this, I've brought Emily back by popular demand. I'm gonna go through shadowing my serve out to the ad side. Emily's just gonna feed the ball back to me as I go through my footwork pattern. And you can take this and you can do it either with the ball machine, or you can do it with a feeder like I'm using, or even have somebody standing right next to you and just dropping the ball. But you want to get yourself used to getting through those motions quickly and then getting ready to go. Let's get that started. So this isn't about whether I make the serve or not. This is about whether I can get through that pattern. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I make my next shot. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take that next ball. Now, if you notice, I'm just hitting the ball away from Emily, but I could put her anywhere on the court, and then I've just already decided what my next target's going to be, which I talked about in the beginning. You got to have your intention. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to move Emily to a different position. Emily, would you mind going outside the doubles line over there? And can I have a ball or two? Thank you. So I'm going to serve to the deuce side now, and Emily's going to actually feed a ball to me from way out wide. The reason why I'm having her do this is one thing that people very often underrate is the fact that a lot of balls come back to you from positions that you don't usually see them come back to you from. If I hit a serve out wide, how often in a rally will I pin somebody into that curtain over there? It's not often. And people undervalue how difficult that shot is to return. So as she hits that ball back to me, I have to position myself quickly to be able to not waste that opening in the court. So now, as I serve the ball to the deuce side, she's going to feed that ball, and I have to position myself to get it over to that open court. Got it? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go that way. You can just feed the ball to me though. Yep, you're good. So again, I'm going to serve it out wide, and then I have to position myself quickly. 1, 2, 3, ball comes back to me, and then I go there. Get used to organizing the feet to follow up that pattern. So to illustrate another way to practice this, I'm actually going to use the ball machine instead of a hitting partner. That way you guys have different variations on ways to do this. I have the ball machine set up outside the doubles alley as if I hit a good out wide serve. And the ball machine is going to be firing the ball back to me randomly, but I'm going to always start from that middle position. Getting used to seeing the ball come into the court from different angles, and then I need to cut them off and not waste the opening that I would technically have created. So for the beginning, I'm just going to be rallying from that position. But then what I would eventually do is either have a feeder or be able to set the ball machine in a rhythm where I have time to go through that motion and then get down and then take my shot. But this is an example of how to practice that part. So we've got the ball machine firing from over there, and I'm just in this position here, seeing the ball come from that side, and then not wasting the position that I just made. Way over, get there. So if I had hit the serve, I'd see the ball come from that spot, and then I don't waste the opening. Ball comes here. So if I was going to hit my serve, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's there. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm in position. But the goal is to just get used to the weird angle that you see that ball coming from and know where your next target's going to be. Easy to practice if you have access to a ball machine. If you don't have access to a ball machine, like you saw me do with Emily in the beginning, get the person to feed the ball to you from those positions that you actually want to work on. And another thing you could do, I'm going to bring Emily back in, is I'm actually going to have her change the way she's returning. Like, for example, I'll have her feed the ball to me faster, or slice the ball to me, or give me angles. But you can actually be picky on that as long as you know what your intention is after. So you want to start by making sure you hit your serves to the spot that you chose, but then know what your follow-up shot is going to be. So for this one, I've told Emily that I want her to hit all of her feeds down the line, and I'm going to just be practicing hitting my serve and reacting to a ball that comes down the line. It's not tough to plan these things out, but when you have a partner that's actually good at feeding, you can actually work these things in. This is step 1 of the 2 drills that we would do. So once I've told them what I need to work on, that's all I'm going to see, and then I could give them a different variety of things to actually do. For example, I might say, this time when I hit the serve, I want you to give me a short ball to move up and attack. You're just getting used to getting your footwork pattern to then be able to shift into the next position that you need to be in. So I'm going to hit this out wide, and I just want you to feed the ball down the line. So my serve goes over there, footwork goes through, ball comes there. I just get used to hitting that and executing it. All right, can you feed the ball over there this time? So I'm going to serve out wide and take the ball that way. So my ball goes over there. Now I moved it this way. And now that was literally the whole objective. You know what's coming in. You get used to making those movement patterns and get used to making those shots from that movement pattern. Now on the next part, here's what we're going to do. Last version of this exercise. I am going to tell Emily what serve I'm hitting, and I'm going to let her literally camp in that spot. That way she has most of the control in the point, and she can take the ball wherever she wants, and I have to react to the things that we practice. If you want to have a little segue in between, you could tell them, hey, I still want you to hit your returns over to this spot or this spot, but you get used to seeing the timing off of the racket rather than off of the feed. Either way, the goal of this is to then transition from doing this to then playing the point out once you've gotten comfortable with the rhythm. All right, so I'm serving out wide, so you can take a step over. Yep. And yeah, you can just serve wherever you want. So I'm over there. It executed exactly the way I want. Same thing. Serving out wide, movement. Get used to seeing that pattern happen over and over again. The next step, as I said, would be we do that and play it out. I still tell her what my serve is going to be, and she gets to camp on that and do whatever she wants. But at that point, then the point will be executed the way that I want it to start. So I'm hitting my serves, I'm executing my second shot, and then the point play opens up with me in control in most cases if I'm able to execute my pattern. So for our last demonstration, Emily knows that I'm going to hit this serve down the tee. I have to react to whatever she does, and then we play the point out. My goal in my pattern is, I'm going to whisper it to you. My goal is hit the serve down the tee, and then go back behind her to that side, and then play the point out from there. If I can pull that off, I should be in control of the point. Now, she doesn't know what the pattern is. She only knows what the first shot is. Ready? So I hit my, ooh, that's not it. That was not even close. You guys didn't see that. So hit my first serve there. Hit my second shot there. And then I hit my third shot there. Come on. Executed the pattern perfectly. But as I said, she only knew what the first shot was. So she had the ability to kind of lean on it and give me a return of good quality. After that, I had to then execute what I said my pattern was going to be. And as you guys heard, I wanted to go down the tee, back behind her, be in control of the point, and then be done. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. I hope that this was helpful. As always, if you know somebody that will benefit from practicing these things, please shoot this video over to them. As I announced in the beginning, we have the podcast stuff coming back, and I want to get you guys involved. But that's going to wrap this up. We will see you guys in the next one.